So what would Doctor Doom look like in Marvel Rivals? So they've obviously given him the design and he's instrumental for the story, but he isn't playable. So obviously him being my favorite fictional villain, I had to go make a concept for part of the series. So the main part of his playstyle I gave him is sorcery and science, which is his passive, which allows him to switch between science and sorcery modes, which can slightly alter his kit. So he starts in science mode because his sorcery and magic is usually secondary to his mind and such. So his science mode is more defensive, while sorcery is offensive. So primary fire is Ray of Doom, where he shoots a continuous beam of energy, and then his secondary fire is Bolts of Doom, where he shoots bolts of magic, and they do more damage than his Ray, but they got less range and less charge. So first ability is Doom's defense, where he puts up a shield by drones. When it's in science mode, his shield is is bigger and it's got more health, but when it's in sorcery, it's got less health, but reflects attacks that it's hit with. So being more offensive. Then next is Doom is old. So his suits activate and it absorbs damage from attacks fired at him. When he's in science mode, that absorbed energy from the damage is applied to his shield, giving his shield more health or defense. But when he's in sorcery, that applies to his bolts, giving him damage buff. So whether you want a shield increase or damage buff. And next up, we got Doom Decides, where he can place, a little teleportation destination that only his allies can see. This is like a puff, like a singular teleport, not like Strange's Portal. But yeah, he could place it by shooting at, walls and stuff for versatility instead of just, having to place it in front of you if you want more range. So when he's in science mode, he could teleport himself or teammate. Because as I said, he teleports in like a big green puff smoke cloud, kind of like Nightcrawler. But in sorcery mode, he can teleport an enemy. But of course, he has to mark said enemies. He can't just snatch them up. He has to actually hit them to be able to teleport them. But you can't just kidnap people. Then lastly, we got Doom's Thunder, where he's able to grab an ally or enemy and apply lightning to him. So when he's in science mode, he basically shocks their neurons and all their ability, shocks their cells, and it gives them a little boost. So when that happens, it gives them health and damage buff. But when he's in sorcery mode, he picks an enemy up, shocks them, and throws them back. Obviously doing damage, and it's extra damage if they're thrown into a wall. Then his ultimate is Reign of Doom, where he summons a bunch of Doom bots that resemble him, and they all got like 50 to 100 health. But Doom himself, his health also displays like 50 to 100. So you don't know which is real. So imagine like 5 other Dooms around him, all with the same health display, just standing in like a line. So you just hope you can shoot the real one basically, because they all just mimic and follow. And then he's got his team up with Namor, where Namor's Wrath of Seven Seas ability shocks enemies hit with green electricity, stunning them.